Oh, right.
Doshkin having to sub in for Frosty on that one. But the teams are in. We're ready to go here. 5 games on the clock. We still have one more series after this one achieves. Can only believe we're only in match 4 of 5 on the day.
Well, what time is it? 9 o'clock? We're right on schedule.
Fair point.
Pizza Man, big whiff out of the midfield. The Ducks and the Demolition, I'm sure, glad to be in command of their own destiny instead of us two. Oh my goodness, Little Giant, you want to talk about death or glory? Did you see him go for that challenge? Mateo following through as well. No fear, making all the half rotates out of the midfield and throwing in extra opportunity after extra opportunity.
That's the Ducks' trademark style, death or glory. Paying off for them here is Doshkin, who made the initial save, not able to recover back in time. Pizza Man tries his best to stay on target, but unfortunately Little Giant dunking him into next week, and Mateo with the follow-up, able to drive that one in.
Ducks cheat up on the kickoff. Mateo right behind Little Giant. Nice possession-based play back towards the blue half. How often have we seen this light blue color today, right? And a long bomb from past the middle of the pitch.
Little Giant just picking this one up. Dosh had a little bit too much space. We talked about it a bit while we were 1v1ing there. When you give that much room, sometimes you lose control of that ball. Pizza Man not reading that one up in the air, and Doshkin on the rotation back can't cut it off. Finds that bottom corner. That's a 2-goal game.
Pizza Man and Doshkin successful this time around on the cheat up. A little bit tardy on the follow through, however, and it's an open net. Mateo's not going to miss that one. The lead extends to 3.
Now this is the part where you got to buckle down and make sure you don't give the Ducks the ball, as Mateo splitting the D on the cheat, can't quite get there. Is, I believe, Pizza Man trying to make contact on the ball. Mateo just goes around him with the full boost can straight down into the net. 3-0 now the lead for the Ducks, and this one starting to get out of reach for the Demolition unless they can get a response here early.
And the Ducks have cheated up on every kickoff so far, so if you become the Demolition, your next obvious play, get those kickoffs going back towards the corners of the pitch, regardless of which one it is. They actually hand him a goal here. Doshkin not able to put it on frame, got bumped out of the way. Great heads-up play from Mateo to keep the clean sheet. And a solid bump prevents a breakaway.
Yeah, that's a big physical play by the Ducks there. You see just a little bit there on defense. Little Giant not reading that ball effectively when he went for the clear. He gave Doshkin the opportunity to try and put it on frame, ultimately not able to do so successfully.
Mateo downfield. Should take a one-hopper out towards the middle of the box. There's the follow-through from both of them, and it's going to be Little Giant who gets rewarded with the goal.
Death or glory out of both the Ducks here, because if Pizza Man wins that 50, that
Game
one's
over.
all the way back the other way, and the lead's cut down to 2. Instead, Pizza Man just a little bit early flips past the ball, not able to keep his hitbox on it.
Ooh, hello. What a challenge from Doshkin. Take your time. Just set up at the top of the box. Doshkin, don't go for boost. Your teammate needs a guy to pass to. You had the open net. Be aware of the situation, and it cost him.
Well, that's unfortunate there, because they're both stuck the same side as the ball there, and as the ball comes out in front, it's a low, easy clear for the Ducks. Unable to keep possession there are the Demolition. 5-0 now for the Ducks early in this game. Still 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. And this is what we worried about a little bit off-air, achieves, is that the Ducks would be very much on pace to run away with this one, and they're starting to do so early here.
Yep, nothing else need to be said about that one. Pizza Man throwing out the sorry, wow, close one. And Little Giant says, thank you much, I'll take it.
Just a little bit slow to rotate in on that one. Could have cut off the near post there and really been able to bring that one under control, but just let it roll a little bit too far and ends up tapping it into his own net.
Pizza Man able to buy a little bit of time. Once again, out towards the top of the box. My goodness. Is it just me, or do the Ducks just challenge so well that it just pops out right to where the other one is every time?
Yeah, Mateo not going in for that one too heavily, just angles the front of the Octane in a way to direct that one out in front for Little Giant, who makes no mistake on the finish. And 7-0 now for the Ducks here. Let's hope that the Demolition get out of this one with a little bit... Okay, we don't go to Brazil.
To Brazil!
I don't
beyond!
I think this one is just a write-off at this point now. You got to get through the next 2.5 minutes just to kind of get the score back to 0-0, but the adjustment comes down to just making sure that when you have the ball in your possession, you don't give it away easily to the Ducks because they're so crisp with their passing.
Yep. Dosh King trying to get something started. I'd like to at least put one on the board. Oh my goodness. We just hit the halfway point?
Yeah. I mean, let's put it this way though. The Demolition coming in on 0 warm-up for this one because Doshkin had to be subbed in last second because of a family emergency for Frosty. You know, that's tough. That's a really tough thing to do when you're coming in against the league leading team. Pizza Man saying with the 2 own goals is actually 7-2. I am okay with that assessment.
Sound logic indeed. Mateo, let's see the doink. All right, not quite. Challenge now. 2 minutes ticking down. Let's think about this. I'm just going to park the bus for my camera on Pizza Man, and I'm just going to follow him around for the remainder of this game just to see what he does. Brilliant save from Little Giant. Just able to tap that one away. Pizza Man really patient right now out of his own half. Not edging forward unnecessarily. Does deny that boost. Doesn't quite get to that ball quick enough, though. There was a little bit of a window where he could have tapped it through Little Giant or under him, moreover. It's just the hesitation really costing him, it would seem. Almost demoed. There it comes through, but he has already secured the team's clear. The blood sacrifice has been paid, Jay.
Yep, let's hope that blood sacrifice works out to be a goal. We talk about with PUBG, you know, sometimes you have to sacrifice a team member to get a favorable circle to win a game. And maybe that's just what the Demolition need to be able to put one up on the Ducks here rather than go down by possibly double digits.
Whoa. So my next question for Pizza Man clearly becomes, why doesn't he use the delivery pizza topper instead of the chef's hat?
You know, that's an interesting question. I might have to bring that up.
Because, I mean, that's clearly the next logical evolution. It's like...
Oh, wait! I know why. I remember this. Ooh, he's gonna get one. I don't know if you know the origination of the Pizza Man meme. It's actually a meme name. So, his original handle was DiGiorno.
Oh, God. So everyone was just calling him DiGiorno?
It happened once, I believe, on Pillars in Season 3. It might have been Season 4, actually. But, yeah, no, in the off-season, he decided to just embrace the meme fully and change his name to Pizza Man. But because it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
But that still doesn't explain why he uses the chef's hat instead.
Because you cook it at home, it's not delivery! It's a pizza delivery topper!
Okay, you know what? With that logic, that makes perfect sense. Because you cook it at home. That is a good enough reason.
There you go.
I completely didn't link both of them together. I looked at them individually.
We figured it out, Ashiz. We did it together by our powers combined.
You figured it out. I followed along for the ride. As game number 1 will mercifully come to an end, the Ducks putting in 8 goals in about 2 minutes and 22 seconds, finding 2 in the remaining half of the game, and wow! I mean, what else need to be said about that one?
4 minutes of warm-up for the Demolition, as they were saying in chat there. The Ducks, while we were 1v1ing, having gone off to continue their warm-ups, so... I mean, there isn't a lot to be said about that one, Achieves. For what the game was, it was probably about what we expected. The Demolition forced into a late roster change because of a family emergency to Frosty. Hopefully everything is okay and that it's not something too severe. But the Ducks are a machine. They are a well-oiled, well-practiced machine. And when you come in cold against a team like that, sometimes you're going to give up 10.
Get the hammer dropped on you for sure. Well, we'll have to see what game number 2 holds in store. as Pizza Man goes for the tough 50-50 in the midfield, and Mateo so quick to challenge out of the midfield. Doshkin, noticing the time he has, took the 50-50 on his own half and bought plenty of time for Pizza Man to grab some boost. And that's why I really like that play too, especially Mateo's right there, and it will be Little Giant once again credited as both the Ducks right on top of the ball.
The Doshkin unfortunately comes out for the Death or Glory challenge, and then Pizza Man on rotation
what a recovery.
puts Mateo right on the recovery, right in front of the ball. You get to touch on that one. Little Giant able to finish the contact off to prevent the goal confirmation. But the Demolition, I think, is just a late challenge by Doshkin with Pizza Man upfield that kind of lets him down there.
Long clear seal. I wasn't going to say anything, but all right, what a shot.
Big pinch by Doshkin there, just clipping the top of the Octane and off the ceiling down into the open net, and that needed a TI-84, but they get a response quickly, and now if they can kind of work their way into the game off the back of that goal, they might be able to sneak a game here.
Just throw out the calculator. Come on. Mateo wants a ground pinch, actually right over his head, maybe rushed it a little bit. After getting it by the last defender, Little Giant actually just going to leave it for Mateo, and what is going on with Pizza Man? Only had 21 boost, would have been tough.
Yeah, he actually picks up a boost pad there, but you see his decision to just back up, can't really play that. If he aggressively goes up the backboard there, like the near post, might have been able to intercept that. We talk about it a lot, don't get it in frame, don't let it fall into frame, because a lot of the times it's so hard to defend once it does, and that hesitation costing the demo there.
Yeah, 21 boost, definitely enough to go up and get that one on the post for sure. A bit tardy to that side boost, will get it stolen away. Mateo out to midfield, breakaway chance, just catch it on the dribble, Pizza Man. Rush to that ball and roll it in. Unfortunately, tried to hop at it. He got beat by Mateo. Little Giant out of the midfield. Aggressive challenge now. Ooh, just off Doshkin. Actually, probably a good thing. Mateo was right there to meet that. Patience from Pizza Man as he waits for Doshkin to do his deed. Back wall. Missed the touch, thankfully, as did Mateo. The Demolition dodge a bullet.
You know what we talk about with losing control of the ball by putting it too far away from yourself? Doshkin, in the start of that sequence, had the opportunity to just catch the ball and bring it down on top of that Sentio. Instead, flips at it and gives too much space between himself and the ball, which gives the Ducks the opportunity they were looking for to attack.
Another 50-50 gone the way of the Ducks as it pops right out to another member. Has a shot to the far post. Pizza Man could have got it if he took the early flip. Didn't believe the read and got beat.
Problem was, as he backed up to the near post, he jumps at the ball that Doshkin's already flying for. That decision put him out of position once his teammate misses that challenge, and the ball falls out in front for Mateo to put into the net.
Indeed, indeed. The lead now, too, for the Ducks. At least if you're the Demolition, you're keeping it a bit closer. Because by this point, they were already down 8-0 in game number 1.
Yeah, good response defensively, at least from the Demolition, to keep things a little bit closer. They've got an opportunity here, not if this one falls in out in front. Little Giant off the bar. Mateo can't get the follow-up there. Disaster averted for the demo.
Yeah, honestly, ooh, floater, tough play. Honestly, the next big thing, like, as long as the Demolition, Pizza Man, and Doshkin can figure out how to literally just get it past the midfield line and stay with the ball, like, that's all they have to do, and they'll have a pretty good chance here against the Ducks. But they are struggling to get the clears out into space and having the ability to follow up. So much boost control. Doshkin helpless in the net with 75 boost. Great placement.
Really good placement from Mateo here. Doshkin just backs up to the near post too far. You see him starting to peek out, trying to figure out if he can get out for that ball, but by then it's too late. Mateo already picking the angle, putting that right over his head and in. That hesitation is really what costs teams against the Ducks. Two problems with people who play the Ducks. One, they give the ball up a little bit too easily and they let the Ducks have possession. Two, they give them too much time and space once they give them possession to make their shots happen.
Mateo got around it just enough, perhaps a bit too much for a safe goal, but either way, it finds its way into the back of the net. They struggle to get command of the ball right in front of the net, and it goes against them.
Yeah, double commit to the challenge, ends up demoing the player of the Ducks player in Little Giant, but Mateo in position to pick up that ball at the far post. 5-1 now for the Ducks as they march out to an early lead in this game, and probably an early lead in the series, barring some heroics here for the Demo. There's one!
That's one on the way back. Every journey, this single step beginnings every time. Pizza Man, that's a pretty nifty catch on the sidewall. Mateo definitely caught a little bit off guard, and he finishes it himself.
Really good control by Pizza Man there. That's the kind of goal that you need for a little bit of momentum in your favor. As he picks up, the ball goes right around the last defender, and then really patient to let that one fall into frame and be able to put it into the open net.
Little Giant, super aggressive out of the midfield. Mateo wants the challenge and actually almost came down with the goal. I mean, as long as you communicate that to your teammate, it's fine, but man, are the Ducks feeling it or what? Ooh.
Yeah, they're just playing with all kinds of freedom and confidence right now. And I mean, you're on an 18-week winning streak. Your last loss was 2 seasons ago in Season 3. And you know, you have a championship in your back pocket to go with that. And when the bounces go your way, it's pretty easy to play Rocket League.
Losing is a crutch. Doshkin just struggling to pick that ball up cleanly on the dribble. If he's able to catch that on the side of his car, cut that outside, keeping it flat against the ground, there's almost no chance that that goes in. Unfortunately, a slight misposition. A tough catch to be sure, but one that need be made right in front of the net. Doshkin now pass back to the center of the field. Pizza Man's not there. On no boost as well, can only concede ground to the Ducks, and here we see if it will cost him again. A beautiful floater. Overcommit. Little Giant gives Pizza Man a boost and makes the save off the bar. My goodness. I don't know how they kept that one out, but at least they don't get 7 on it.
Yeah, that's... I'm still confused as to how that ball stayed out. That bounced around a number of times there, and the Ducks almost able to cut the angle for the 7th. Somehow, by the grace of Psionics, stays out of the net. But a little bit too little too later, the defensive heroics, 6-2 is going to be the final score here in Game 2. The Ducks out to an early lead in the series.
Well, amazing game. So yeah, you see there, Little Giant, 5 assists, Mateo 5 goals. There's kind of a reason that these two are the top goal scorer and top assister for their teams. It's because they're nuts.
Here's the question, though, and this is something that I've been talking about for week on week on week. Is it so much that they are actually nuts, or that teams let them be nuts?
Yes. The answer is yes. It's
I disagree.
Watching the Ducks play, their ability to aggressively challenge the ball is certainly head and shoulders above any other team that I've seen play in MLD. I don't know if I've ever seen another team be able to play as aggressively and be as effective as these guys have.
That is true, but on the same vein, if there's a team that can compete with that, if they can just be able to not leave easy opportunities to capitalize on, would they still be as strong?
I mean, we'll never know. I don't think I've seen a more sound mechanical team in MLD, so I'm inclined to say perhaps not as strong, but certainly still probably one of the best.
Okay, let's say that theoretically here, the Flames and the Ducks meet in the championship, because that's the only team I think that might be able to challenge them right now.
What about the Lightning? Lightning are like nuts too. They're 19-6, 24-6, whatever.
And we'll see. All right, so 2-0 Ducks here early as you and I tried to debate how much of a dynasty the Ducks team is right now, and they just capitalize on 2 big opportunities that the Demolition leave hanging on that one. And again, it's more of what I talk about. When you give the Ducks opportunities, Dawson with a great follow through to bump Little Giant out of the way, they punish you for it. But you need...
Wow, did you see that?
Wait, he hit Mateo first, and then Goomba stomped
Mateo
Little
hit
Giant.
Little Giant. And
Wow.
It killed Little Giant's ability to make it. That's nuts. That's actually nuts.
Demolition are nuts confirmed.
Talk about everything going exactly as it needs to put that one in the back of the net. That's super cool. Anyway, what were you saying?
I don't know. It's a 2-1 game. Let's see if the Demolition can come back and put up a big fight here in Game 3.
That's a good point. Little Giant. Uncharacteristic miss, at least from what we've seen so far. Doshkin taking his time. The Ducks literally just give them the ball and say try and get it past us, and they do not. Mateo's got a bit of a rotate. Little Giant so patient. As soon as he notices the miss clear, wheels back around. The sound decision making for sure out of the midfield. They challenge when they know they have a fair chance at it at least. And Doshkin and Pizza Man still, it's struggling to get it past that midfield line and being able to hang on to the ball.
Exactly.
One of their best chances.
You can get it past the midfield line, but if you're not in a position to challenge it right away, they really struggle to maintain the pressure on the ball because the Ducks are so effective at intercepting and clearing.
Ooh, Doshkin, nice little read off that back wall bounce. Pizza Man wants to get down the other way. Not the best touch, and Mateo's already got the angle cut down. Little Giant lurking at the top of the box for the miss, and it doesn't matter. Mateo will take it himself.
Now, Doshkin unfortunately gets beat to that ball by Mateo. Don't think he saw him because he had ball cam on, losing the sight of the defender there. And the midfield presence from the Ducks, again, punishing the Demolition right now, as any touch that isn't followed up on strongly is put right back into the offensive zone and turned into an offensive chance.
Ceiling bounce, and he'll just tap it into his own net. You know what? Why not? Says Pizza Man. Make that 3 own goals. He's scored the series own goal hat trick now.
And there you go. Doshkin going for the boost there, and actually Pizza Man, it's going in anyway, just trying to do anything to tip it up off the bar. Can't quite get there in time to tip it up high. And 4-1 now, the score for the Ducks. And it's so tough for the demo, isn't it, Chiefs?
I mean, it's it's just more the same. I mean, the Ducks just control the ball out of the midfield. Doshkin and Pizza Man, I mean, they're doing an all-right job on defense, but it's just the mechanics aren't quite there to deal with the aggression that Mateo and Little Giant are throwing at them.
Yeah. They're not quite able to recover effectively, and the other problem that they tend to have is just their positioning, which isn't so much a mechanical thing as it is just decision making and figuring out where you need to be to play a ball more effectively.
Yeah, it's like you need to understand obviously your own mechanical ability, and the more you understand that, the more you know where you can be to accomplish a certain task.
Exactly.
Like if you know you don't know how to half flip, then you won't cheat as far up field out of the midfield when you're trying to challenge because you know you can't recover quite as fast. And it's just understanding that about your own play.
Exactly.
And Mateo and Little Giant seem to both understand very well exactly what they can do from any position on the pitch, and that's honestly why they've been so dominant here in these 3 games so far.
Well, they've really been fairly dominant for a season and a half now at this point.
Yeah. Solid understanding of their own capabilities, and it yields results. As Doshkin coming up empty one more time, Mateo will say, "Thank you very much. Let's make the lead 4."
Little Giant, no boost on this play, still able to win the ball as Doshkin gets stuck underneath it, tries to go up off the boards, can't do anything but flip at that one. Pizza Man looks like he might have gone off for a delivery there, tries to rotate back, can't get there in time. Mateo puts in the 5th for the Ducks here.
The Ducks, once again, classic cheat up on the kickoff. Actually, nobody able to come up with a touch there. Mateo. Oh, he wants to do it himself. Thought better of it. Stopped boosting, realizing that, you know what, it's just too silly. Goes right at this one. Little Giant wisely out towards the side into space, just taking that opportunity away from Pizza Man. And that's another thing that the Ducks just do really well. They realize when they've lost possession, and they know when to cut their losses and just throw it back away. And more importantly, when they realize that, they take the opportunity away from their opponents. Like, they just don't let them do anything for free.
Yeah, exactly. They're really good about, if they're not punishing you, they're taxing you for everything that you want to do with the ball. And when you give up ball possession as easily as a lot of teams do against the Ducks, it's really difficult to avoid that tax, whether it be boost or even just a bump getting pulled out of position.
Exactly. It's the final 20 seconds, about to count down now. Mateo, it was actually on frame. Pizza Man had to race out of the corner. Make a quick save, and Little Giant reading the clear quite well. Roller in front of the net, just able to top it high. That's a great save from Doshkin. Very difficult indeed as the final 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and 0. That will do it for game number 3. The Ducks cruising.
Really solid performance from the Ducks. The Demolition still able to keep it fairly close. I mean, 5-1. They're coming down a little bit from their heady heights that they gave up in game 1. That Dawson actually dropping out of the server here. Just checking Discord to see if looks like he crashed. I actually think he had some issues towards the end of that one. I think I saw him kind of stuttering on the movement there, but gives us a chance to talk a little bit more about the game at hand. At least achieves 10 shots from the Ducks, a little bit higher than their season average, but still pretty close to it, to be honest.
I'm actually curious. Let me take a look at the numbers. What have we seen out of the Ducks so far?
8.28 per game.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, overall, we've seen what? We've seen an 8-goal game, we've seen a 6-goal game, and now a 5-goal. So let's see. Their per game average, the Ducks average just over 3.5. Oh, server went down for maintenance.
Seems good. Let's get this. Let's get it remade. Not only did Doshkin have problems, so did the entirety of the server.
Exactly. But yeah, the Ducks seem to average 3.5, just over 3.5 per game. So they absolutely are crushing that right now. They put up a +5, a +4, and now a +2.5, I guess. But yeah, they're definitely outscoring their goals per average. Their assists per average, those are also through the roof. They're normally at 1.84, and I'm pretty sure every goal they've had so far has been assisted. I don't think we've seen an unassisted goal.
It's been close. I'm sure that if somebody's keeping track of the stuff for fantasy, well, okay, I'm apparently being told that the server I just created is being said that it's full. I don't understand how that's possible, because I literally just created it. We'll try this one more time.
But basically, in short, the only thing that's different, that's actually on par for the Ducks, is basically their shots per game, which is about 8.2. Right. Everything else, they are destroying.
Kendo apparently has been keeping track in the chat, saying 3 unassisted goals of the ones that they've scored so far. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's nice, I guess.
I love the deadpan delivery from you, Achieves. It is 100% solid.
But it's just... I'm just surprised that there's been 3 unassisted goals. It feels like it's been... Mateo and Little Giant just all over literally everything. It doesn't... I'm just surprised that there's been an unassisted goal, because they've both been so forward and getting so many touches on the ball.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. And teams are back in here, ready to go here for game number 4.
Well, Jay, let's see. Who do you think wins game number 4?
I'm going to eat my words, but I think the Demolition might actually be able to figure this one out.
Really? They almost started off real good as it was bashed off the back wall courtesy of Doshkin. Tail rolls one around, maybe trying to fall back on that one, and they actually kind of have to scramble a little bit here. They have made it back in time, no problem. Mateo. Nice little roller around, kept at bay by Doshkin, no problem. Pass out towards the top. Leaves it. Mateo, recognizing he's beat, just opts to go back on defense, and that's that good decision-making from the Ducks. Realized he was beat, knew it probably wasn't a worthwhile challenge, immediately backed off, and they get away scot-free. And how about 20 boost towards the net, tries to go straight through. And again, Doshkin on defense getting things done.
And Little Giant expending all of his boost there to try and maintain the pressure on offense there. Unfortunately, both the Ducks now have to retreat, and then that challenge by Little Giant, just getting that around Dosh in there on the diagonal. Demo by Pizza Man, not going to help them. Mateo finishes it off. That's 1-0.
That is indeed 1-0, an unfortunate misclear, and the easy 1-2 pass will do it for the Ducks. But the Demolition, I mean, actually, this game started off pretty alright for them. They got an early chance in the net. Sure, it didn't go in, but it actually took the Ducks a little bit of time before they found the back of the net again.
Yeah, for me, to be honest, the Demolition need to be a little bit stronger in terms of managing the boost against the Ducks. Yeah, you're right there. If the Ducks don't have boost, they're a little uncomfortable, and I've been saying that a lot about them. They have boost a lot because they're very good about taking the boost away from the opposition. But if a team is actually able to do that against them, they don't really have a great backup plan, and they start to scramble a bit, and it creeps into your head not having a lot of boost if you're not comfortable with playing on such low boost numbers.
Do you hear that, everyone in MLD? Boost control is OP!
It really is.
Mateo now out of the midfield on a dribble. Actually, that's a pretty smart backflip to force that ball up. The way Pizza Man was coming to challenge him, if he just goes for a straight front flip, that ball just gets straight up taken away. Mateo now trying to win 2 challenges, went for the fake on Pizza Man, held at bay. The 1-2 touch, it's going to be just wide, and we'll have to see if Little Giant opts for the challenge. He wanted to go get boost and is very thankful Pizza Man didn't take a shot. They had him beat.
A little bit slow to the ball there. Pizza Man used a lot of boost rotating around to chase that one down. Has a full tank here, but you see just a lot of that movement there. Big bursts of boost to try and make up ground. It's a big map, yes, but...
Oh, goodbye.
Oh, no, not like this. Doshkin getting stuck in his own net there as the ball just comes out in front. You see that they're both down the same diagonal channel, gets stuck near post underneath it. Mateo, all the time in the world to be able to shoot at that one. 3-0.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for Doshkin as well, though, is he had the time to read that ball going up the wall because no one was going to follow that touch up. It was already rolling. All he had to do was pick up that boost and cut up the back wall and tap it out. Just unfortunately not able to react quick enough, understand that was the situation. Pizza Man and Doshkin once again find themselves in a 3-goal deficit here, but actually every game has gotten progressively closer for the Demolition. They haven't had the same offensive success as in their previous games, but they have limited the offensive capabilities of the Ducks at least, and that is certainly saying something. As I believe, if I read all my stats correctly, the Ducks are only currently behind the Lightning in number of goals scored coming into this week.
Coming into this week,
that very well could be different after this.
I think you are correct, yes. I think that they were
Lightning
only...
at 94 and the Ducks at 91.
Yeah, that I believe has changed. I haven't done the stats on the Lightning's match earlier, as I have the scorecard somewhere. I just haven't actually taken a look at them to know how far ahead that they got. But the Ducks will have taken a big chunk out of that lead, at least with the first couple of games in the series.
Ooh, wow.
Chiefs and I willing the Demolition here as they try to get one back. Can't win the race back against Mateo Doshkin.
No, I was actually talking about the Ducks there because that's all they had to do was tip that out to mid and he was toast. They went off the back wall and it bought Doshkin just enough to get a tip on that ball. Mateo, great pass towards the top of the box, utilizing all the space on Starbase so brilliantly. The pass is too off target, as I'm sure Little Giant was trying to put that one in the back of the net. Unfortunately, tapped it high. Doshkin, a great little jink and a cut to the right. He's through both of them. Now he has to get through both of them again as they've recovered, and Little Giant doesn't have the boost to track this one down. The final 37 seconds. Going to be ticking down here. Mateo, really aggressive. This Little Giant so patient. He knows this clear is not going to be exactly the best. So there's, again, limited boost for the Demolition.
Pizza Man just floating at that one, trying to will himself closer to the ball. Ultimately can't do it. Unfortunately, that is not how rocket-powered battle cars are powered.
That's the sound the car makes when you're out of boost.
You know, for their credit, the Demolition kept it to 3 goals here.
Yeah, not a bad defensive showing. Considering how much pressure they were under, it is very well done. for the Demolition for sure.
You know, they've steadily gotten better as each game has progressed. And
every game.
Maybe, just maybe, Game 5 will roll the same way that all the other ones have been going, where the team gets the most strong in Game 5 and is able to take a game surprisingly against the run of play. The Puffins did it.
Can't control my car half the match, lol. Yes, the Puffins did do it. They battled back Game 5, started off, they got on the board quickly, which is pretty much what I think got them in the right frame of mind. The Demolition were very close to scoring first in this game number 4, if you remember. Doshkin had one just off the post, about 10 or 15 seconds in or something. And, I mean, if that could have gone in, perhaps we do see your prediction of the Demolition taking game number 4, and we'll have to see what happens in game number 5. They've stepped it up every game, especially on the defensive front. The offensive still struggling, but there's not a lot of teams that are really able to box in the Ducks, I'd imagine, here in the MLD.
No, it's one of those things where a lot of teams that would be able to do that effectively are ones who are mechanically confident in putting the ball exactly where they want it to go. When you're not doing that and you're giving the space between yourself and the ball after your initial touch, that's where they strike, where they really feed off of those balls.
We just clipped that for no context later. Pizza Man cuts one down. Take your time. It bounced so high. Oh, that is so unfortunate if you're on the Demolition team. You get a huge breakaway. They pass you the ball, and you can't finish it. It is the worst feeling.
It really is.
Little Giant slaps one away one more time into the corner. Off the ceiling. Mateo and Little Giant on a bit of a breakaway. Gets a favorable roll. Mateo wants it himself. Nice high pop. My goodness. Goodbye, Pizza Man.
Yeah, Pizza Man knows that he's beat on this one, given the nice shot to Mateo there. Trying to come back on defense. As soon as he turns in, Mateo lifts it over top. Pizza Man, nothing he can do about that one. Is a really good play by Mateo. Heads up, knowing he's got the defender beat, just doing enough to get it above him and keep it out of reach.
Again, classic cheat up on kickoff for the Ducks. And that's on. They have literally done that every single time, or at least 90% of the time. Is the quick follow through, Little Giant just beating out the defender to the ball.
And Mateo doing really well to call off Little Giant, gets the shot in, hits a couple of defenders, and then as it pops up, Little Giant plenty of boost because he doesn't commit to the ball, able to get up and take that shot. Good comms between the two players, and it's a 2-goal lead now with a minute gone on the clock.
And another cheat up. Doshkin yielding ground. Mateo gonna race back, make the quick U-turn. Good comms to tell who should be taking this challenge. That might just go in. It does! Little Giant hits the perfect place on the wall.
And Pizza Man not really able to see that one coming in. Didn't have a lot of boost to deal with it anyway. Gets a little bit too close to the near post there. He goes right down to the goal line, gets parallel. Might have read that a bit better, but instead goes a bit too direct to the ball, and it sneaks by deceptively off the Starbase arc walls.
Out of nowhere, Game 5. In pretty much the same boat as Game number 4, the Demolition being held at bay. Only mustering one save on the scoreboard so far. In game number 5, Mateo just cuts down everybody. It's on target. Doshkin! Little Giant reading the play well, but got a little bit too close. Couldn't quite stay with that one as Mateo is not flying the golden bounce. Little Giant wants it himself. Has the flip. You're kidding! How long was he in the air to hold onto that flip? What?
Let's see. 1,000. Yeah, there you go. Last frame or thereabouts gets the flip to get contact and robs Mateo of that one, but glory or death.
My goodness. Man, you and I were talking about how we probably wouldn't lose if you and I 2v2 the Ducks. We might have lost to the Ducks. Nah.
Okay. For the record, and this is the only time I will ever admit this on camera, there was a game where the Ducks were able to beat me and Minimaki, but I came in straight off of work on no warm-up. The only time.
One time. One time.
Just once.
Just leaves this one for Pizza Man. So patient. Wait, the ducks aren't using their bread antenna anymore. They've got the actual duck.
I think their coach pulled them off the bread diet because apparently bread slows you down.
I mean, bread is actually, like, I don't think bread is actually good for ducks.
It's not.
Pretty sure they can't digest it.
Yeah. 6-0 on the stroke of halftime here. Mateo across the field to Little Giant. Pizza Man can't catch up to that one. Ball is supersonic, so is Pizza Man. And that is another goal and another assist, and the chat's been talking about it a lot here. The assist record has been broken, I believe, by Little Giant, but a team assist record might be on the cards here, as these guys just keep finding one another here.
Little Giant off the side wall. Quick, aggressive follow through. Little's going to have to race back and buy a lot of time on limited boost. Oh, and he missed the corner boost as well, and Mateo took it. This is a chance for you, Demolition. They're strapped for boost, and they just hesitate on going and shutting that one down. Mateo is able to take it all on his lonesome. What a great pass out towards the top of the box. That is another thing that the Ducks do an absolutely brilliant job. They utilize all the space on the pitch. They actually utilize passes out towards the top of the box. They've stopped using that back wall that so many teams rely on here in MLD. It's like passing that ball without using the back wall is basically the next evolution. Like, that's when you start ranking out of MLD, because you know how to utilize space and get it away from goalies. And Mateo just did them all dirty. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this one might be on par for play of the week here, as he recovers incredibly well, brings that ball down under control, grabs one last pad of boost to get that downfield. It's a 7-goal game now for the Ducks. And, you know, you talk about the next evolution of teams ranking out, and we know this is the Ducks last season. They've talked about it. Mateo and Atomic both planning to retire after this season. So, you know, you get the sense that they are ready for it. They're ready to take that next step. Big save by Pizza Man to deny Mateo another goal.
Able to come up with the clear. Follow through by Mateo. Ooh, that's not good if you're a Duck. Little Giant able to read the bounce nicely, stay right with it. Pizza Man comes up empty. Doshkin, the quick U-turn, trying to get the offense going. Have they registered a shot? They've registered one shot, and I believe it was the one that just rolled across the net for the Demolition. Otherwise, they have been absolutely forced onto their own half all game and all series long. Mateo, so patient, actually just letting Pizza Man have a fair shot at that ball. How about a couple off the back wall? Little Giant giving all the space in the world. Mateo will do it himself. Little Giant was all the way back on his own half.
Chat screaming for Mateo to get the assist on this one. Air dribbles that down into the two defenders, and then while they're retreating, grabs a corner boost, wins the challenge and in. That's an 8th goal for the Ducks. And well, no assist on that one. That's unfortunate.
Mateo still got 18 seconds left here, and this might be a good chance. Little Giant again too far away. Mateo will have another goal. My goodness.
And just a little bit out of position there, the Demolition. They get underneath the ball. Doshkin tries his best to get that across. Can't quite finish the contact to get it out off the post, and it goes in against it. And it's just a little bit further for the... stay out. No! I was praying that would bounce and stay out. Like, it's right at him.
It is literally
oh. Woo! That is unfortunate.
Well, chat wants Mateo to get one more assist. And He will not get it. Close one.
It is what it is at this point. I mean, the Demolition unfortunately forced into a last-minute roster change literally 4 minutes before they could get in on this one here. And it's tough to play against the best team in the league with no warm-up time. Like, it's hard enough to play against them when you've been warming up for hours on end, Achieves, but it's hard.
There's nothing left to say. Well played. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's
Let's do a giveaway and go to break. My goodness.
I think everybody needs a bit of a breath on that one there, but my heart goes out to the Demolition on that one. It sucks to make a roster change at the 11th hour against any team in the league, let alone the Ducks. But full credit to them. They were improving step over step over step.
That's
until
true.
it just kind of got until it just got away from them. And you can't even fault them for playing poorly because they were growing into that. We knew that they had a low amount of warm-up coming into that one. Last minute roster changes, they're going to do that to you. And I give them full credit for going out there and improving step on step on step. It just, at the end of it, it just kind of fell apart and they just could not maintain that hold on it.
I agree. I have nothing else to add.
Let's give away
analyze.